Yo, welcome back to another episode of A Shot of Rosé. This week I got to sit down with my girl Alyssa and talk about relationships and dating. Let's go ahead and let's get into it. Yo, welcome back, man. As always, thank you for tuning in. If it's your first time, appreciate it. If it's your seventh time, thank you. With that being said though, man, how is everybody doing this week? I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man, it's been stressful. For the first time ever, I seen my gas pump go over $60. And not only did it go over $60, it went all the way past 75. I think I ended at like 76. Now, I did have to get like 2 gallons of gas for my lawnmower, but still, 17 gallons of gas shouldn't be costing $75. I don't know about these road trips this summer. I don't know about these vacations, you know what I'm saying? Because shit's about to get real expensive. But y'all go ahead and let me know in the comments, man, what y'all out here paying for gas. So this week, I got to sit down with my girl Alyssa. We got to have a really dope conversation about dating and relationships, and we also talk about mental health, but that's going to be part 2. But this first one, we really got into the nitty and gritty. She's single. We got into how single life is for these women out here, how these men are out here, you know what I'm saying? And ultimately, we just had a really fun and really dope conversation. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. And then after that, we'll wrap it up and I'll get back with you. All right, let's go. All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of A Shot of Rosé. I'm here with a homie, Alyssa. Today we're going to talk about mental health and relationships. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I know, right? Like, I'm excited too because I just got these new wireless mics.
Yes,
I get to try these out.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm feeling fancy.
You official.
You know, I'm feeling fancy. Actually, I recently learned because we were talking about potting that you get to now write a lot of this off as a proprietary, as a content creator. Yeah. So like that camera, these wireless mics, I'm writing those off on taxes.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to ask you about that off camera.
Yeah. We'll get into that off camera.
Okay.
But yeah, for those of y'all looking to get into content creation, just know that like it's tax loopholes, things that y'all can do to get yourself started. Yeah. But with that being said, right, let's get into you here. Let's tell us a little bit about yourself because you got a pod as well, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I do have a podcast, and it is mostly about mental health. It is called Connected by the Hip. Okay. But right now we're kind of on a hiatus.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, I do have my own YouTube channel, which is about books, beauty, and mental health.
Okay.
So I get to talk about things that I like, which is beauty products, beauty stuff, clothes, books. Like I really started as a book YouTube channel.
Oh, okay, got you.
But I'm expanding. Man,
I wish I could read, bro. It cannot hold my attention. Like I can read for research purposes, but for just the need to want to read for entertainment,
that means the book's not for you. They don't slap.
I guess maybe.
Because
I try reading them all. Harry Potter, whatchamacallit, what was the other one? Oh God, I couldn't do more than 2 chapters of what's the vampire movie?
Twilight.
Oh God.
But that's appealing to like a high school girl.
Yeah, I just couldn't do it. I don't know, maybe so, right? But I've gotten into audiobooks.
Okay, audiobooks are good.
Yeah, self-help audiobooks.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. So that's kind of my thing now.
Okay.
But that's about it. Yeah,
so you do read.
Yeah, I guess you could say I read. Yeah.
It just has to be something that you really, really like.
Yeah, it has to be purposeful.
Yeah.
That's the word to use. Yeah. It has to be purposeful.
Now, like I started out in the self-help, but now I'm like,
yeah.
Let me go into fiction now.
I do kind of feel like there's only so many of these books I can listen to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. Outside of like listening to podcasts and things like that. But yeah, it's it helps to keep the time flowing when I'm at work.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
So you're really into books.
Yep.
All right. What made you want to start getting into podcasting though?
Actually, I didn't. So my friend approached me.
Okay. Yeah.
My friend approached me, and we talk about this on the podcast. If you guys want to go listen to Connected by the Hip, we are on Apple and Spotify. Sure. She hit me up, and I was like, I guess. I guess we could try it.
Yeah, try it out.
And so now, like, people have been asking me to be on their podcast, and I'm like, well, maybe I really do need to be doing this.
There's something to this, yeah. Yeah.
And so, like, when I remember when I dropped promo for our podcast, people are like, "Oh, finally!" And I'm like, "What you mean, finally?"
Yeah.
So people are actually listening to me and wanting to hear what I had to say about topics, mental health topics, because we mostly talk about mental health. So that's really how I got into it. And so now I'm like, okay, I really want to do it now. I really want to like be consistent. And so now I'm going to be consistent this summer.
Yeah. Okay.
Even if it's on my own YouTube channel.
On YouTube channel, yeah. Because y'all were doing every 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, we were.
All right. And so is it going to be seasonal, or are we going to do like chronologically like all year? Because they like, you know, on Stop the Foolishness, we do every week. Well, I do every week as well. So in which case, like, is that going to be your time frame? You don't know? Okay.
I don't know yet.
Gotta think about the time. Okay.
I have to
see how the schedule works out.
Iron it out.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Got you.
But I did notice, like, I feel like week to week, you'll be able to grab people's attention more. Because I think bi-weekly, sometimes they may forget about you. They may or may not. It just depends.
I would think from a marketing standpoint that you might want to get into it weekly at first, then you can branch off if your schedule gets too hectic.
Right.
Yeah. But either way, right, like my favorite line is dope sells itself. So in which case, if people will like it, you know what I'm saying, you got enough buzz.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying, you can make that happen. Okay. All right, cool. Well, now let's go ahead. Let's jump right into it. Let's go ahead. We're gonna talk about relationships first. All right. So my first question for you are you out here dating?
Okay, I'm dating.
Okay.
I did stop for a little bit.
Okay.
Because I was like, this is too much for me. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, it's rough out here.
It really is. Like, luckily you off the market, because if you wasn't, you'd be like, what the hell? Bro,
yeah, like I saw a tweet where boy was like, y'all think y'all want to be out here, but you don't want to be out here, man. You make that shit work. Yeah. So I'm like,
facts.
Yeah, I already know. Like, I got a real one, so I ain't tripping.
Oh yeah.
But you know, it's crazy to me, like how much dating has changed since me and Trish, you know what I'm saying, got together versus when I was dating versus now. And I'm just flabbergasted at times when I'm on the internet seeing shit, and I'm like, oh, man, it's rough out here.
It really is. Yeah. Like, I went on a date recently, and after that first date, I was like, nah.
It's that bad? Damn.
Yeah. One time I was texting a dude and we hadn't even gotten to a date, and I was like, nah, this ain't gonna work. I told him, I was like, this ain't gonna work, because I'm trying to be honest.
But I mean, that's keeping it real though, right? And so, and that's the beauty of, I guess, where we're at now to a certain extent, right? Because, you know, as things have gotten worse, but things always get better.
Yeah.
So one, back in the day, leading people on was like a big thing.
Yeah.
Like now people being like blunt and
brutally
direct.
Honest.
You know
Some
what I'm saying?
people are being brutally honest.
And
or they ghost you.
Oh man, that's yeah. I know a couple of people that got ghosted. Those are always the funniest stories, man. But it's crazy because Trish has a friend that where things seem to be going good, but then the guy told her, you know, saying he was honest. And, you know, it's heartbreaking, but the reality is, you know, this is now life. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what we wanted. This is what we asked for. And he wasn't, you know, saying terrible about it, but, you know, he expressed how he felt and just, you know, he ended things. But, you know, that shit still sucks, you know?
Yeah, it's painful.
But, you know, sometimes you date and you don't work out, in which case, speaking of that, the Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan thing, internet has gone completely crazy.
Man, if y'all don't quit talking about this, y'all dragging it.
They sitting up here like, she dropped a bag. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna lead this man? First off, Michael B. Jordan could be crazy.
He could be.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he could be abusive. Like, we don't know why she decided to lead this guy. On top of that, they may just not work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm saying, it's like, I feel like, and that's where we get back to like dating and relationships. I kind of feel like people have like forgotten what dating is, the purpose of it.
Yeah.
Like, and we'll get more into that later, but it's just like, how did we jump to the conclusion that she dropped the bag? You know what I'm saying? Maybe there was things that weren't working out. She kept telling Michael, you're like, yo, this is what's got to happen for us to make this work. He thought just throwing a ring on it. Like those are all types of scenarios that can occur. And and to me, that's ultimately why I just wanted to hit on that point. It's like, y'all, can we get back to people dating, having a relationship,
seeing if it works. It doesn't work, they move on.
Yeah.
You know,
but people have deeper issues than that.
Yeah.
I think we have too much sense.
Yeah.
Not common sense. I can't.
Yeah, common sense ain't too common these days. Okay. All right, got you. Yeah.
But you never know. Like, we don't know the story. Like, I saw somebody was like, this is why Michael B. Jordan is going back to white women. I'm like, huh? What y'all talking about?
He was on a boat one time with white women, and they just at least I don't know, because I don't keep up with celebrities.
Yeah,
but I ain't never really seen Michael B with anybody.
Same.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't even know.
But
who
he had
dated
like
previously.
one boat party and like with like a bunch of white girls, and like all of a sudden like that's all he date or that's all he likes. So, are you on any dating apps though?
No, but I did try one once for 1 month.
All right, which one?
I tried Hinge.
Hinge?
And apparently that's supposed to be the most successful one.
Word? Okay.
In my experience, I'm like, y'all whiny. Some of them are whiny.
And like they bios? Like
no, like chatting.
Just chatting? Oh my God.
And first of all, I was getting way too many messages. It was overwhelming to keep up.
So they would keep keeping you up. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, then like I did go on a few dates. One guy, it was a white guy.
Okay.
And nothing against any races.
Yeah.
But he was cool. So we had great conversation.
Yeah.
He just was too touchy-feely. And he kind of gave me feminine vibes.
Okay.
Which I need a manly man.
Okay, yeah.
Or want a manly man.
Yeah, need some masculinity there.
And I just felt like he was just too touchy-feely. And I was gonna go on a second date to see if I would still feel that way. But he unmatched me.
Oh,
because I didn't respond too fast enough.
Oh my God. Okay.
Then another guy, he was like Middle Eastern. But I kind of got the vibe that he was using me as a fetish. And
those are the worst. And it's creepy, man.
It was creepy. And he was like, oh, well, how about we just go get food and go back to your place? And I was like, no. Like,
all right.
You're playing.
Yeah.
So I didn't talk to him after that.
Okay.
Then I met this other dude. He was cool. He was cute. We had good convo. Actually, he talked more than me, and I talk a lot.
Okay, yeah.
But it was cool because I'm used to being the talker.
Yeah.
He was into polygamy. And he was like he was coming on too strong, like asking to come over. And I'm like, dude, we just met. Mm-hmm. Literally.
Yeah, these boys wild out here now.
Wow.
I'm trying to get into the crib, man.
Mm-hmm.
I keep stressing that. I can't. Like, I just remember like dating, it was by like courting a woman and like, it's like, boys really just don't care to do that no
they
more,
don't want
bro.
To. They want to skip straight to the reward.
Yeah.
But we don't even know if we like each other yet.
Yeah.
You're only going off the physical.
Exactly. I wonder if, because I think about this sometimes, right? Like, yeah, we become more progressive, but have our progression with being open more sexually actually hurt dating and relationships.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I get it now, right? Like, yeah, we definitely want to progress, especially from like a woman perspective. Like, women can have sex with who she like, you know what I'm saying? Be more open sexually. But then at the same time, it feel like that opened the door for men to feel like they could just take you to McDonald's and take you back to the crib. And it's like, bro, like what y'all
you're not even trying.
Yeah.
You're not even trying. You're doing the bare minimum, if that.
My cousin is the worst. Like,
oh, Lord.
I'm putting him on blast, bro. But my cousin, him and his homie got this little thing that they call the $20 rule or bet or whatever.
Oh, my Lord.
And that is to eventually, like, you know what I'm saying, clap them cheeks before spending more than $20.
Child, some women will fall for it,
bro. Like, and apparently they're successful at that shit.
Oh Lord,
which makes it even worse.
That's crazy.
I know, right?
Wow, I want to know what they be doing.
Yo, apparently, man. Look, I don't want to give the trade secrets, but apparently they're pretty good at what they do.
Wow.
Yeah, so
that's crazy.
Just so y'all know, that's what y'all dealing with out here.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
That's too much. Okay. So after that, I didn't do any more dating apps.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. My sister, she recently been wanting to get back on the market. I recommended Bumble. Okay. And not knowing it, because I was just shooting some shit. I was just shooting a bunch of dating apps out of the App Store to her in the family group chat because we was having a lot of laughs and fun about it. But Bumble apparently is designed for the women to reach out to the men.
Right, I heard that.
To not overwhelm. I guess because of what you were dealing with.
Yeah, that was overwhelming.
It gets overwhelming. Probably getting 10, 12 dudes in you a day. It's like, whoa, okay.
It was a lot.
Yeah, okay, all right. So yeah, so in which case, for the ladies that are thinking about getting into that, you might be dealing with her problem. Look into Bumble. Bumble's supposed to be that shit.
I heard about BLK.
BLK?
Yeah, that's a dating app, but I never tried it.
I was gonna say I don't know nothing about it. It's like 1,000.
Yeah.
Like
many of them.
I was just under the impression that there was Match.com and eHarmony, dead ass. Oh, and Tinder. Like that was it, right?
I feel like Tinder was the first one. I feel like it was.
Well, I guess you could say eHarmony and Match they weren't apps yet. Yeah. So Tinder was like the first one to go like mainstream for sure. But like now, I hopped on the Google. I was on like dating apps, and I could just keep scrolling with how many Plenty of Fish. Oh, I knew about Plenty of Fish too.
So I heard Tinder and POF were like the hookup apps. So I never tried those.
Yeah, everybody you mentioned Plenty of Fish, and boys be like, nah, bro. It ain't nothing but catfish in there.
Yeah. Lord have mercy.
Yeah, and if you watch the show Catfish, that's what everybody get catfish through. Plenty of Fish. Yeah. It's like, y'all must well just shut this shit down.
Might as well.
Okay. All right. So speaking of that dating, that leads me back to which I asked again, right? So out here dating, what do you think the biggest disconnect is between like men and women? Because I know you got friends, they're probably single too, right? Along with, the dating. What do you think really the puzzle isn't fitting it? Like, where are we off at the most?
I don't know. I kind of want to blame social media, but
I feel you, because that's exactly where I was about to go.
I kind of want to blame that a bit.
Even deeper than that, and this is going to be ironic, this irony at its finest, but I blame podcasting.
Oh my God.
I blame podcasting.
Podcasting is definitely getting out of hand.
Is the at least right now, is the biggest contributor to like being off. And from someone that me and Trish started from the bottom, right? Like we was in a 2-bedroom apartment where it was issues in my family. My brothers had to come live with me. My mom was paying half of the rent. Trish was staying there with me. I mean, like we had a suitcase with like a little 12-inch or 13-inch monitor on it that we was like streaming Netflix off the phone through. So like that's where we came from, right?
Wow.
So like where we are to today, right? And to see that, and to see all these podcasts where all these people have these stipulations about like what needs to be this and needs to be that, it just blows my mind that like we've moved past really making connections and building upon that and then building a life from that to wanting the life to be built and then expanding on the connection. And I just don't see that being for longevity. I don't see that working too well.
Seems kind of like superficial, right?
I mean, ultimately at the end of the day, and you're entitled to feel however you want to feel, right? And so I'm not going to tell someone that wants somebody that makes a certain amount of money that you kind of live in a pipe dream, because most of us don't make that kind of money, right? So if you're looking at just the figures,
right?
But even so, it's like if that's your baseline for where you start, you're limiting the pool of people that it's kind of like a job, right? If you can only work so many hours, then, you're only going to get so many hours, right? So like also off the rip, like you're limiting the amount of people, you can actually talk to. And men specifically who make a lot of money, they don't tend to be shit. So
don't be good people.
They're not, right?
And like, I know, because I've dated.
And it's like,
and they cheat.
Huh? And that's the thing about people with money, right? People who actually manage businesses and make money, they understand the value of $1. So one, they don't be blowing money like that anyway. Recently, Travis Kelce, he's a tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. His girl just broke up with him because the entire time they've been dating, and they've been together, I think he got in the league. He only gave her like $100.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter.
I don't know if that's true.
I know.
But that would be wild to me, bro. He ain't never gave you more than $100. All right, this is where I gotta like, all right, shawty, like you was bugging. $100? What? Most men spend that on their girl in a week, a month, like a month, definitely for sure.
She must have thought she was gonna hit a lick,
bro. I'm saying. And so I was always under the assumption that they were married. But anyway, that's digressing a bit. But yeah, I feel like podcasting is really like fucked up. Like,
it really is. Like I'm sick of y'all seeing y'all lame ass clips,
bro. And it's
saying
like
a bunch of nothing.
And that's like, And that's the entire purpose. And like, as someone who started a podcast because like you feel like, and honestly, that was kind of the reason why I even started this. As someone who started a podcast because you feel like you got something to say, you got something important that you want to, you know, bring to the world. You feel like you want to give something back. It's aggravating because it's like, yo, they ain't even real life. And most people I know aren't like this. You know what I'm saying? I know at least 10 married men. 2 of them for sure make over $100,000 a year, right? But again, they started from a certain place and eventually got there. None of them are like this. They're all in like happy marriages, plenty of kids, at least on the surface, right? Seem to be in happy marriage. We get together, we laugh, kick it, barbecue, like all this just one big family event. And every clip I see on like YouTube, TikTok, is just people, men across from women, arguing about like what you bring to the table.
I'm sick of that conversation.
It's like, also, how many times can we rehash this?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, how many different conversations? Like,
it almost seems like Black men and women hate each other.
It do, right? Like at times, and it's like, first off, if I was raised by a Black woman, you know what I'm saying? So like, it amazes me, and men get the same hate too, but it amazes me like how that generational trauma transfers down to us. And we still fighting the same fight that like our parents were fighting.
But now it seems worse. Maybe it seems worse because it's on social media.
The good thing I will say though is I do feel like it's getting better, right? Because like I said, we have positive examples. Like me, my homies, like I know these are good brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like I know that they're out here. They love their kids. You know what I'm saying? They want to be there on weekends. Recently, I got a new job because I was tired of all the hours I was working. Like I was like, I got kids. Thank you. Yeah, I was like, money. Yeah, that too, right? Because I would have left just for a better schedule. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I want to be here with my kids. I want to kick it with my wife. My wife is my best friend. Like we enjoy each other's time. And like you listen to the way that some of these people talk, and it's all like, y'all want to marry a status. Y'all don't really want that person to be there. So
they don't want to do the work. You're doing the work. Exactly.
And it's like, that's where with the first question, I'm like, well, you know, are people like really even dating anymore? It don't seem like they really are. Because how can you date somebody and the only thing you're concerned with is, you know what I'm saying, what they're bringing to the table. It's like, I'm passing you this application here real quick. Check out where you fit. And then we'll see if we're going to call you back in for a second interview. That's really what it feels like.
One time I dated this guy recently and we did like a game night, like something chill. And I started asking him like insightful questions and he was like, nobody's ever asked me any questions like this. I'm like, damn, what y'all doing?
Exactly.
Y'all just like, going straight to smash.
That's really what it felt like, man. And not to mention that, but like I said, with my cousins and shit, so now you got a certain populace of men that think, well, relationships are useless, you know what I'm saying? And that, you know, that all a woman is good for is for having sex and I can do my own thing. Like, why would I ever get married? And
whole thing.
I know, right?
Hurt.
And you know, it's crazy. It'd be a lot of military brothers like that.
Oh, I think they throw it off.
I think the military be fucking them up.
They throw it off. For real.
I think the military be messing them up. I
think the military has high suicide rates.
Oh yeah,
that's how miserable they are.
Yeah, the stuff that they deal with, like the PTSD that they come off with, like that's a whole nother level of trauma that, like, you know, it's like, I don't know if it's ever fixable. You know what I'm saying?
If you're in the military, do not hop in my DMs. Don't hop in my DMs,
like, nah, bro. We cutting that off.
I'm cool.
Like, I don't need them kind of problems.
I'm cool.
But dead ass though, like most military people, they tend to be really hardened, really difficult to deal with. And if you think about it, from the aspect of, and not to dwell on this too much longer, but when women want men who make a certain amount of money, those men are usually driven. They're not family driven. You know what I'm saying? They're typically, you know what I'm saying, I'm grinding from the moment I get up to the time I go to sleep.
This is not good humans. Just a good businessman.
It's not box people in like that, but generally speaking, they tend to be pretty shitty people, right? And your feelings ain't really all that important to them. So when you marry these men or you're looking for these type of men, understand that comes with it. But at the same time, I don't think those type of people are looking for emotional connections anyway.
Same. I learned that the hard way. Because I always tend to go make connections. That's just naturally who I am. But some people are not looking for that.
No, and I can tell you firsthand. Like, it's rough out here. Okay. So thinking back on past relationships though, how many like serious relationships would you say you've had in your life?
One?
Oh, dang, that's it.
But that's because through therapy, I just realized I was a runner.
Okay.
So that's why.
Okay.
I was naturally a runner.
All right. That one serious one that you have, do you feel like he could have been the one?
I think back then, I probably thought so. But now looking back, probably not. I don't think we were fully compatible. Yeah. I don't think he allowed, or I even allowed myself to be fully me.
Okay.
So in the long run, no.
Yeah.
And you're not my person.
And you grow with time, right?
And you grow with time.
Yeah. So in which case, and that person can be on an entirely different wavelength than you are now. And that is, to me, kind of the beauty of like getting older and realizing like when I'm with Trish and I think about like how well we work. And then I think back on past relationships, like we're never gonna work out because of this and because of that. Like me and Trish like worked from day one. You know what I'm saying? And it's a rarity. I understand that because a lot of times marriage is really hard. But also tell people that from a relationship standpoint, it shouldn't be that hard though.
Right.
Like, don't get me wrong.
Right.
It requires work at times, right? We definitely have times where we're, but a couple hours later, we're good, maybe even like a day later, like we're good. But like, no, you shouldn't be 3 out of the 7 days of the week be bumping heads. Like
that's how I feel about like friendships since I haven't had many long terms yet. Yeah. I'm like, the friendships should not be that hard. Yeah. It should be free flowing.
Exactly.
Like that. And then if you do bump heads, like you said, it's not long.
Yeah. And friendships is an entirely different conversation because you have some friends that require more times than others. If you don't hit them up enough, they, be like, bro, where you been? Like, dog, like, you have other friends that, they always want to go out. It's all like, bro, listen, I got a family.
Right. I need to chill.
Like, I understand, like, you want to be out here in these streets, but I'm tired. I got a job, 2 kids, which is a whole other job. You know what I'm saying? Whew. Boy, when I tell you, listen, being a parent is the most beautiful, frustrating, scary, aspect of anybody's life, man. But I wouldn't change it for the world. So in which case, do you see yourself having kids? Do you want kids?
So sometimes I say yes, sometimes I say no.
Why no?
I just be in my head about it. I'm like, I think it's the trauma. Like as I work through my trauma, I'm like, do I want to birth kids and like pass down some trauma? Yeah. But I just know that's just natural. It's a part of a part of life. So I would say yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe one.
Okay.
Then I get all superficial and be like, well, what my body gonna look like? Silly stuff. What childbirth gonna be like? But I think I could do one.
Yeah, do one. Okay.
I honestly, like, if I'm being really honest, I think that I was meant to be someone's mom. Like, I can feel that I will be.
Yeah, the nurturing aspect of you. Okay. All right. Now, how old are you?
32.
32. Okay. All right. Now, I've come to learn recently that the medical community doesn't really care for women having children past 35. I did not know that. Like, because Trish just hit 35 in April. And her doctor, the first thing he said when we got there was, oh, good thing you got it in because you were just about to turn 35. And I mean, like, they're on like you hit 35, you shouldn't be having kids.
Apparently the complications rise.
Yeah, right.
But my mama had a baby at 40.
Bro, like, I know a ton of people that had kids past 35. So I'm like, where is data coming from, bro? Like, this kind of feel like, I don't know, this feel like bro science to me. I mean, I ain't a scientist, I'm not a doctor, but it just kind of feel that way. Do you at times, because I had this conversation with another friend, do you feel at times maybe that window's closing? Like you don't know if you're ever going to be able to squeeze that part in? Or are you just letting life kind of, happen? And if it happens, it happens.
In the beginning, I did feel like I was like, man, my clock ticking. But then like now as I am maturing mentally, I'm like, I'm just flowing.
Yeah. Man.
I have to.
Yeah. Because I mean, it gets back to almost with everything in life, right? Like these young kids that think that because some 22-year-old is making $1 million a week off of cryptocurrency and like you're not like you know, you're not doing shit with your life because you know, some content creator made one video, blew up, like you know, and so that's when this conversation with her, I was just all like, yo, you can't, you know, the same way we talk about like you can't look at other people's life and be all like that, you know, that's goals like Will and Jada, for example. Yes. And we realizing now that's been a entire
man. We was like, what the heck?
We got that all wrong.
Show did.
When I tell you, looking back on everything that has occurred over these last 2 years, it's like that should be the go-to example for never judging a book by its cover. Yep. Cause they've been through some shit. Mm-hmm. Okay. And it also shows you that you never know what people are dealing with. You know?
Sure. Like, never compare yourself. Because a lot of people like to ask me, why aren't you married? Or, you know, why aren't you in a relationship? Or do you like girls? And I'm like, why do I have to like women?
My sister just got
because I'm not in a relationship.
It'll be older people too, right?
It do be older people. Like, for example, I got a dog maybe like 4 months ago.
Okay.
And my friend is older. She's in Generation X.
Yeah.
Her boyfriend he damn near baby boomer, but he was like, why did you get a dog? You gonna be alone forever. You need to go listen to Kevin Samuels.
Oh my God. Oh, the boy dropped the apocalypse on you.
And I was like in my head, I was like,
my nigga.
Families have dogs. Like, why do I like? Why does it have to be that I'm gonna be alone because I got a dog?
That is.
I didn't understand it, but I just let him talk because that's your opinion and how you view things. That's not my reality.
Yeah, how does that even
correlate?
Yeah, you know, it's like
that's just that older generation, how they think.
You know, because it's crazy because my sister recently got a dog and her uncle just asked her the exact same thing. Like, you know, if you like women, it's okay, baby. Like, what? Mm-mm. Like, I've dated men. Right. Shit just ain't working out. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I don't know when shit's going to get better, you know, because back to the podcasting thing, you know, they take those clips because they know it's going to get reactions. So that's all they see.
For sure.
And the crazy part is for the other 90 minutes of their podcast, it could be relevant, real topics about real things, except for the Fresh and Fit pod. That pod from top to bottom is full of shit.
It really, I watched it. I watched the episode and I'm like, y'all pissing me off.
Yeah, I watched it because like I watched Kevin Samuels, and Kevin Samuels is part of that part of the generation where he's a realist. Well, was a realist where, you know, he gonna say shit how he feel and he'll make great points.
Right.
But then he gonna say some off the wall shit too, where it's like, now it's hard for me to pay attention to what you're saying. Because you was making great points. I was hearing you, dog. Now you on some bullshit.
Right.
Because
you know? Somebody was like, you like him? And I'm like, he says some.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, no.
Yeah. And I only watched a couple of his episodes because I was all like, yeah, there's got to be more to this guy. Yeah. And so I watched it. And so I was all like, oh, okay. So he's just like, basically everybody we grew up with. Like my mom and dad were like that. You know what I'm saying? It's how you feel. Ain't putting no icing on top of this cake. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You feed this shit to you just like this.
Yeah.
And that's how he is. And then he gonna say some off the wall shit, disrespectful shit. But also those clips were good for his brand, right? Because that shit grew him to like a whole nother level.
Sure did.
But same thing like with these podcasts, man, like they're not putting out content about real shit because unfortunately that shit doesn't go viral. You know?
People don't want to listen to real shit.
Yeah.
They scroll past it.
Exactly.
But if you saying pop your coochie or, you know, something silly.
Or I need a man to make $100,000 a year when I talk to him, or, you know, yo, I need a traditional woman that cook clean. Like, yeah, that shit's gonna
really peak.
Mm-hmm. And
like with the Diddy and Young Miami.
I saw that. I seen the clip. I ain't click on it, right? But I do know that. So basically, he said they were dating, but they aren't together.
So she was like, "What is we?" And he was basically like, I mean. And she was like, well, because you my man. Like, you not my man, but we go together. And he was just like, all right, whatever you say.
But see, rich people do what they want. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't, you know, we, and then on top of that, Young Miami got her own money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah. But and that's another reason why, like, I definitely don't. It's not that I don't want to listen to celebrity podcasts, but
it don't hit the same.
It don't, because like none of y'all talking about is relevant to me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I agree.
Some of the ones where they interview, like, you know what I'm saying, other artists and stuff, and they talk about like personal things, like those are cool. You know what I'm saying? Like $1 Million Worth of Game is definitely one I listen to religiously. I fucks with them. But yeah, a lot of the podcasts where they be talking about shit, it's like, I can't relate to y'all. You know what I'm saying? No one can relate to y'all. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's all for part 1, man. As you can see, we really got into it. Lessons we learned: stay off of Plenty of Fish. We already knew to stay off of Tinder, but I don't know if boys really know. Like, Plenty of Fish definitely is like the place where people get catfish. So you definitely don't want to get on that. As we further talked about the standards of relationships and you know how dating is, that as we talked about that's just been my whole thing. Dating seems to have gotten way too overcomplicated, way too difficult, when in reality you're just trying to see who you vibing with, man. And ultimately at the end of the day, if you're not vibing with that person, you just got to keep it pushing. And I really don't see why that is so controversial, or why that seems to be like a complicated message or topic or whatever. But ultimately, I think what I didn't get to discuss is that I think that we made things too hard, but also people don't want to put in the work. You know what I'm saying? I come from the generation and the era where you courted the woman, and you know what I'm saying, you got to know her better, and ultimately y'all formed a relationship and a bond. And it just seemed like now we live in this microwave society where we just want everything instantaneously. And unfortunately, that's just not reality. I mean, like, for some people it works that way, but I don't feel like you can really develop real bonds and real connections if you're not putting in the work to understand the person prior to, you know what I'm saying, even engaging in intimacy. And, you know, understand, you know, we live in a more progressive society, but damn, get to know each other at least a little bit before y'all start hopping in the sack. Because now you out here just sleeping around with anybody and you don't really know the person. And I ain't saying, you know, you got to wait a year or no shit like that, but damn, bro, like, what happened to like courting a woman to get to know her time being valuable for spending with you, and you showing that you were the reason and you were worthy of her time? Now we in a world and a society where you trying to clap the cheeks first, and then you figure out later if, like, you know what I'm saying, if this is really going somewhere. That's just wild to me, you know what I'm saying? But again, I'm kind of old school, a little traditional in the way that I think about relationships. So who am I to say what's right or what's wrong? But ultimately, I really enjoyed the conversation with my girl. Next week, we'll get into mental health. And that's a really, really good conversation, because she talks about her journey, and then I'll talk about my journey to a certain extent and how I kind of want to get into mental health. So we'll get with that next week. Until then, thank you for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? As always, keep it 10 toes down. And it's your boy Imperator Rose. I'm out.